skiers, it's Bob with Skiessentials.com. Welcome to our 2024 ski test. Got a Kastle MX83 for you today, and for my money, one of the purest and cleanest turners on the market today. Just makes extremely round turns. That's kind of been my impression ever since it was the MX84 back in the day, moved to the 83, has not lost its way in terms of carving beautiful S-shaped turns down the mountain. Not a whole lot better out there in terms of having a slightly wider bodied footprint to go along with some all-mountain versatility. But overall, this MX83 is happier on groomed terrain and firm snow than it is in any other type of conditions or terrain. And that's okay. That's what Kastle does really, really well. And that philosophy certainly filters into this MX line, and specifically this MX83. This ski does return unchanged from last year. We did get some construction changes for 23, including pre-formed fiberglass laminates. So as opposed to building them into the ski, they would make them, somewhere else and then put the laminate on the ski. It just gave it more consistency from tip to tail and a little bit different of an energy, just a more energetic feel, a little bit poppier, but overall not a wholesale change, and then no changes to this year. So same ski as last year, and that's great news for people that want that low to mid 80s, front side / all mountain ski, but certainly given the precision and power of this, leans more to the front side of the spectrum. It is built with a blend of poplar and beech in the wood core. They use really thin stringers in these skis, and that's kind of part of the deal of why they're expensive, is there's just more thought and more different materials put into the ski. Those thin poplar and beech stringers are sandwiched together, and when they're combined, they really create this stiffer flex, this nice overall smooth feeling in the ski with a ton of power. We do get those 2 fiberglass laminates, 2 Titanal laminates, so full on like race construction, full sidewall, pretty thick core profile in this ski as well, and that's going to give it a very quiet nature. And then adding to that silence, we do get their Hollowtech 3.0 with a beautiful carbon inlay. So by removing mass in the shovel, they're able to quiet the ski, dampen vibrations, keep it on its intended line, and just make it feel like that much higher end product that it most certainly is. And then in the tail, we get a little additional metal back here as well. It's really just this metal insert that's put in and just takes up this block in the back. And what that does is it creates this just strong and sturdy, stable feel at the tail end of the ski, squared off metal. When we look at shape, it all kind of adds up, all adds to the same story in terms of this being just an absolutely bomber ski, especially when you're coming out of a turn. So this is going to want to hold on to the end, not just because of the shape, but also the build. And then when we get to the profile, there is some positive camber underfoot that adds energy into the ski. And then there's not a whole lot to talk about in terms of taper and rocker. And that the lack of that conversation points this thing more to the front side, more than anything, where we're dealing with a pretty much a fully cambered ski with no taper. I mean, slightly rounded, that's giving it a little bit of a friendly personality in the front part of the ski. But overall, you're getting a very long effective edge. And the longer your edge or any part of your ski is on the snow, the smoother the whole thing is going to feel. So, that carries through to the tail as well, where there's just a tiny, tiny glimmer of taper and rocker as well. I'd go so far as to say that this part of the tail here, where the taper and the splay are combined, could hardly be characterized as rocker. Certainly more of that front side finish and that race-like feel to this ski. 16.3 meter turn radius in this 175. So it really just loves to come across the fall line. And that's one of the things that we've loved about this ski for years now, is just, when you hook into the turn, it feels like it pulls you right through to the tail. And you get that response out of that tail with that metal, with that lack of taper, that full camber going all throughout. So it really gives you that race-like performance in a wider bodied format. And a lot of people just like being able to have that wider platform to stand on. especially if you're on groomers that aren't, rock hard. If you can still dig into something, it's nice to have some extra width for that platform for balance, so that you can create a better edge angle. That super firm snow is really reserved for the very, very narrow skis. So this one gives you a little bit better of a place to stand when you go about your carving turns. But definitely make sure you check out this Kastle MX83 here at Skiessentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.